Shalom, Israel, giving no praise to Yahweh, Bashim, Al-Shah, Bashim, Chakadash, double honor to the apostles, the elders, the GMS, who else I take to I give out their person his word and truth and sincerity, risking freedom and like to do so. Also now than ever before, because we are close to the end. Yeah, man, look, this is as of December 3rd, 2025. The secret escapes of billionaires, from bunkers to secure compounds, all right? Inside the remote estates the super rich retreat to in times of trouble. Why I'm gonna bring this article out again? Once again, this is prophecy, man. The super, rich billionaires, millionaires, billionaires, and for the Rothschilds, trillionaires. They are privy to information that the majority of people don't know. The majority of people are focused on jobs, cost of living, paying rent, mortgage, food prices, transportation, health care for the kids, for themselves. So they're really not concerned about the state of the world as we know it. That's the last thing on their mind. They're more or less focused on surviving day to day. But the problem is, and even if they could, they can't. They can't afford to build bunkers. But you know what? The super rich are, because they understand what's going on and what's about to take place. It says between political turmoil, wars, and natural disasters, it's no secret that the world is pretty turbulent. Is a pretty turbulent place right now. In preparation for the worst, the super rich have been investing in secure estates and luxury property in some of the most remote locations across the globe. For far from the bright lights of New York City or London, the top 1% will be hunkering down in the wilderness of New Zealand. Look at that. The Scottish Highlands, or on islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Well, unless you're new to the faith, there's no surprise what scriptures can come to mind. And this is Revelation 6, chapter in the 12th verse. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Right. The earthquake is gonna go into it, which is the thermonuclear war. Verse 13, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. What happens when you shake fig trees, man? Like a strong wind shakes a fig tree, the figs fall off. And he said stars because from a distance, nuclear warheads look like stars falling to the ground. All right, it looks like stars from a distance, like a light, just a light falling. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, right? When you roll a scroll together, it looks like when a nuclear bomb detonates, it looks like a scroll rolled together. It says, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place because the fierceness and the strength of the nuclear warhead is going to shake and move mountains and islands. Verse 15, and the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman, every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, all right? So it says the kings and the great men and the rich men, they hid themselves. This is what it's talking about, bunkers, all right? See, in the mountains, the wilderness, like the wilderness of New Zealand, this is what they're doing. This is prophecy speaking, fulfilling itself. The rich men are hiding themselves for the great evil day of the Lord. It said, hold on, let me finish it out. Nope. Let me get, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. So who sits on the throne? The Heavenly Father, Yahweh. And from the wrath of the Lamb, who's the Lamb that was slain? Yahweh Shah. So it's showing you two different entities. The Most High being the Heavenly Father, the Most High. His Son, the Lamb, is the wrath of the Lamb, which is going to execute the judgment that was sent from the Father. All right? So they're trying to hide themselves from that day. For the great day of his wrath has come, and who should be able to stand? No one. Let's get a little bit more. Let's see where we're at. Okay. It said Reid Hoffman, the co-founder of LinkedIn, told the New Yorker in 2017 that purchasing property in New Zealand has become a code for getting apocalypse insurance. He revealed to the publication, in quote, saying you're buying a house in New Zealand is kind of wink, wink, say no more. The Australasian country has built up a reputation as a safe haven for the world's billionaires, thanks to its political stability, beautiful scenery, and so-called golden visa program. As of April 2025, wealthy individuals are eligible for residency if they spend a certain number of days a year in New Zealand and invest at least New Zealand 5 million, which equates to 2.8 million US and 2.3 million euro. So it says, or New Zealand 10 million, which is 5.7 million US and 4.5 million euro, and the country dependent on a visa. So it says the rise of luxury bunkers, some wealthy buyers, and this is, people building bunkers. Some wealthy buyers in the market for a disaster-proof base in New Zealand are investing in luxury bunkers. Underground Global Shelter Networks, Vivos, said it shot a 300-person bunker on the country's South Island in 2020. Meanwhile, survival shelter firm Rising S Bunkers revealed that it had delivered around 10 private bunkers to New Zealand over the past few years. Picture here is an installation of one of the Rising S Bunkers underground shelters. The firm specializes in bunker storm shelters and vaults, which can be customized to extremely high standards. So this is disaster-proof hideout, which ain't gonna do shit if a nuclear warhead was to hit it. But anyways, it's a reason why, they're hiding out, because they're getting ready for the inevitable day of the Lord, which, they do right by not building a bunker in America. Because, America's going to feel the greatest force of the wrath of the Heavenly Father. But, yeah, man. I mean, it's coming. So it says the fortified bunkers are built from plate steel and submerged beneath the earth, making them ideal hideouts in the face of natural disasters, nuclear attacks, and other catastrophes. All right? So this is what they're going to do, man. Revelation 11-14, the second war is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly, right? So, ultimately the third woe is coming, and none should abide, none should abide. And I guess it's the inside $8.3 million shelter. Look, damn. Look, enhanced security features. So this is their luxury cars. Sam Morton, damn Edomite. They all gonna feel it. Look, the Hillen Station. All right. So, but it's under the ground. So it says, known as the Hillen Station, Morgan didn't go into detail about his plans for the property at the time, which was previously owned an Infinity Investment Group. However, it seems like the perfect hideaway in the middle of nowhere with plenty of secure space to develop. And look at this. What do you got on top of it? Sheep. Looks like sheep. You know. So at the end of the day, man, they make shows like which was a video game at first. The Fallout. Fallout was a good video game. I love that game. And it was about, nuclear war. You had Maxwell make a song, Glass House, We Never Saw It Coming. And then towards the end of the music video, him and his wife, I guess, is looking out the glass house window and seeing a nuclear warhead hit a city, not too far from them. And they realize it's too late. So, she battle cry, the end. It's constant shows, video games, movies. These producers are trying to tell you, what happening. Two Sons in the Sunset. I believe it's Pink Floyd, the artist, sung. Two suns, the sun is already down, but the sun is up. That's nuclear war. So, it's clearly signs of it everywhere, So it's only a matter of time before, the Most High brings that judgment. So with that, I want to give a praise to Yahweh Shem El Shah, Bashim Kakadas. Till next time, Shalom.